Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel Start with Grammar. And I'm your educator Heena Sharma ma'am. Today we are going to understand the concept of informal letter writing. It is also divided in two parts because I really want you to understand what exactly is informal letter. And then I will further take you to how you can write it effectively and efficiently. All right, so here goes part one of this class. Let us first understand what is informal letter. So, children, informal letter is a personal form of communication where individuals use a relaxed, friendly, friendly tone to share their thoughts, their feelings, and experiences. So, informal letter writing is done when you are expressing your personal feelings and thoughts. और वो हम सिर्फ अपने लोगों के साथ करते हैं. We do not share our thoughts or feelings or experiences with our principals or teachers or maybe somebody with whom we have a professional relationship. We always share certain feelings with our own people, our family members, our known acquaintances. It is typically directed towards friends, family, or acquaintances, as I said earlier, but it can also involve business partners. Now, you will wonder why business partners they come under official category. Yes, they do come under official category, but sometimes there are people professionally with whom we have a very friendly terms. So they more or less become our friends at work, right? So with business partners with whom the writer, like if I'm writing the letter, has a friendly relationship. As you know, I'm a teacher. I may have a very good teacher friend. So she's obviously working at my school, but is a very good friend of mine. So I can write an informal letter to her. Are you getting me? The style of your writing is casual. You are always candid. You are always yourself. You have no bounds, including personal anecdotes. Anecdotes means stories or narratives or anything that you wish to maintain or mention there. And the main goal is to maintain a warm and approachable connection with the recipient. Now, who is the recipient? The receiver of the letter, or you can say to whom you are sending the letter. So, understand each word spoken by me, children. Informal letter is always written to your own people, your friends, family members, your parents, your relatives, your neighbors, your known acquaintances, all come under this category. Understood? Now, I will help you understand as to how to write an informal letter. But before we go into this, I would like you all to understand the elements which are responsible for the accurate structure of letter. See, children, each letter is structured on the basis of these six elements in it. The first and the foremost being the address. Now, whose address? So, the first comes the writer's address. If I am sending a letter to somebody, I become the writer of the same. I can also say the sender's address. Sender, writer are the same. Then comes the date. Now, children, see, you all are coming from variety of schools. You all have been taught n number of ways to write the dates. But there are two formats of date writing which are always acceptable as per the norms of CBSE, as per the board examination. So, what is that? I tell you, one is the American format Like if I say today is 28 January, so you can write January 28, comma 2024. This is one format which is always acceptable. No educator, no examiner from any part of the country would ever deduct your mark here. Another format is 28 January. You are never going to write a short form of date. Like I've seen children writing Jan, Feb, Mar, MAR, Mar. They only write MAR for March. No, then in that case, your half mark will be deducted. So 28 January, comma, 2020. So these two are the formats which are always acceptable in any board you are in. Other than that, other than these two, if you are taught some other way by your own school teacher, then I would always recommend you to follow what your teachers have taught you. All right. Then comes at the third place, we have the opening. Opening means how are you starting the letter? Now, starting is mostly general because every letter, with the start of every letter, comes your own way of expression. Like, I hope you find this letter in the pink of your health. How are you? I'm doing really well. So, these expressions continue to change a bit, but more or less they are going to be the same in the case of informal letter writing. And children, there's one good news. I have divided this class into two parts because I really wanted a deep sense of understanding for you in terms of informal letter writing. So I will help you know what all can be used for opening sentences and closing remarks. But that will all be covered in our next class in part 2. Fourth one comes the body of the letter, the main body, when you come to the point. Because see, you are always given variety of themes or topics, right? Suppose you have to write a letter to your grandfather thanking him for the birthday gift that he has sent you. So obviously your body will be differ from the one in which your mother is asking for your well-being at the hostel. So body of the letter will continue to change. So this is that part of the letter which has to be very specific and unique in each letter you write. The fifth one is closing, which is how to end the letter, how to conclude your letter. So closing remarks also will be shared with you in part 2 of this video. Last comes your signature. Now, as you know, informal letters are always written to our family members or to our loved ones. So, signatures over here means you just have to write your name without surname. You are never going to write, if I'm Heena Sharma, I will not sign myself as Heena Sharma if I'm writing a letter to my father. I will simply write Heena out of love. Are you getting me? So these are some very, very important elements which you have to always keep in mind. In fact, before your exam or during your exam, you can always make sure that you create a checklist for yourselves, writing these elements, and then you structure your writing according to this particular set of elements so that you never skip out of anything. Understood? The next comes is body of the letter. What should it contain? So while writing an informal letter in English, you should use personal and friendly language. Because you cannot use personal or friendly language with somebody who is having business terms with you or are official associates to you. No, I can't say that I can write a friendly letter to my principal. I cannot write it. It's not correct. So, while writing an informal letter, your tone should be really friendly. It is always important to adjust your use of language according to the person you are addressing the letter to. If I'm writing a letter to my father, suppose I am staying at a hostel and I have to write a letter to my father for him to pay my fee. Will I be using the same kind of language that I'll be using to write a letter to my friend? Will my tone be similar to that of my friend if I'm writing a letter to my father? No. The tone will continue to adjust, and your selection of words should always justify that. Only then your teachers will be impressed and they'll be able to give you better marks, better credits when you write the content. A good way of assessing. अब ये कैसे पता चले कि हमें लैंग्वेज को एडजस्ट कैसे करना है? So a good way to understand that is to कि अगर आप उस पर्सन से पर्सनली मिलते हैं तो आपका एक तरीका होगा ना अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस करने का, उनसे बात करने का। सपोज आप अपनी दादी से मिलते हैं एंड एट द सेम टाइम आप अपने ट्यूशन फ्रेंड से मिलते हैं, तो दादी से बात करने के तरीके में और ट्यूशन फ्रेंड के साथ बात करने के तरीके में फर्क होगा ना। दैट्स हाउ यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड the way the tone of language can be adjusted. So, this is what my last line is all about. A good way of assessing how you should write is to ponder over how you would interact with each other in a real life situation. असल में आप उस पर्सन से कैसे मिलेंगे, वो जो भाव आएगा, वो भाव आपकी राइटिंग में नजर आना चाहिए। I hope you got my point. Now, body of the letter, children, is always as per the three divisions. Body of the letter आप ऐसे ही नहीं कुछ भी लिख सकते हो, एक तरीका होता है body of the letter लिखने का. In the first paragraph of the letter, you have to state the reason of your writing. Obviously, आपकी शुरुआती जो लाइन होगी, ओपनिंग लाइंस जो मैं आपको कल प्रोवाइड करूंगी, ओपनिंग लाइंस में आप वही जनरल स्टेटमेंट्स लिखते हैं। हाउ आर यू, आई होप दिस लेटर फाइंड्स यू इन द बेस्ट ऑफ योर हेल्थ, इन द पिंक ऑफ योर हेल्थ। बट बॉडी, जो मेन आपका बॉडी ऑफ द लेटर होता है, विच रिफ्लेक्ट्स व्हाट टॉपिक you are writing on. So in the first paragraph of the letter, state the reason of your writing. Once you are done with how are you, I'm fine and all, you start with the reason for writing your letter. Suppose you're congratulating your friend or your brother or your sister. Once you start with the opening sentences, once you are done with them, 2-3 lines वो आपके letter की first paragraph की लेगा. उसके बाद you start writing, I have written this letter or I'm writing this letter to congratulate you on your huge success. Now it can be anything. वो question पे depend करता है कि question का topic क्या है. In the second sentence and the following paragraph, जो first paragraph के बाद आएगा, you describe what you have expressed in the first paragraph. अब नेचुरली अगर आप कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट कर रहे हो उसे किसी क्विज कॉन्टेस्ट में फर्स्ट आने के लिए, अपने भाई को, अपने बहन को, तो नेचुरली आप उसी की सक्सेस को डिस्कस करोगे कि हाँ तुम ये डिजर्व करते थे, आई हैव सीन यू वर्किंग हार्ड फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम, आई स्टिल रिमेंबर सिंस योर चाइल्डहुड यू वर टू मच इनटू अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्विजेस and learning a lot of GK questions. So it was imperative for you to stand out of the crowd. So all these things will come under the second paragraph. In the final and the last paragraph comes the conclusion. That means your closing statements. अब कोई चीज स्टार्ट की है तो उसको एंड भी करना है, तो एंड कैसे करना है, आई विल हेल्प यू विद सम सपोर्टिंग स्टेटमेंट्स इन पार्ट 2 ऑफ दिस वीडियो. In case you are having any doubt regarding what I'm explaining, regarding any other issue which you always face while writing an informal letter, do mention your concern in the comment section any time of the day. And I assure you that I'll get back to you via comment. Now, take a look at the format. which is very, very important. When I check the papers of my students, 70% of them do a great job, but 30% of the students mostly do not follow the format. Hence, they get their good amount of marks deducted. Don't let that happen with you, children. We are the teachers, and we are always going to snatch your marks from you. Yeah, so don't let us win over here. So, in the format, as I told you, address of the writer comes first. ABC Colony, G City, you can write New Delhi, Bhopal, Mumbai, Pune, Chandigarh, any place can be there. There also is one concept. There is a little element over here also, which I'll explain you when I'll give you an example. All right, in the next video, in part two of it. Date is obviously the American format one, which I always follow. Salutation, dear Pragya, dear Smriti, any loved one of yours. Then comes the body. Body may first is introduction, as I told you. Second, main content, and last being the conclusion. In the end, you are always going to write yours lovingly or affectionately. Do not try to experiment with these expressions or subscriptions. Don't do that. I have often seen children writing truly, they often write faithfully. No, in informal letter writing, first and the foremost thing is to just stick to minimum subscription endings. Minimum, just keep one or two in mind, either lovingly or affectionately. That's it. It suits every relationship, with whosoever you're writing the letter to. So please do not be experimenting here. All right. And then comes your name. One most important thing is students often forget to write yours correctly. Let me tell you, this yours is wrong. Even this yours is also wrong. This yours is absolutely wrong because this is actually a contraction. And the meaning of this yours is your is. So are you really writing your is lovingly? No, you are not writing that. Yours. It is possessive pronoun yours. So this yours has to be capitalized. Yours, this is the perfect yours. And then whatever you are writing, suppose you are writing lovingly, lovingly's L should not be capital. It should always be written in small letter. If you will write like this, yours, lovingly, even then your teacher, you never know, your teacher can still cut your half mark here for not being the correct one. So children, these are small petty things which you should always remember as a learner. You should constantly try to make yourself better, 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 and then the best. Obviously, there's nothing best or the perfect in the world, but you can always try becoming a better version of yourself. This is what I truly believe in. All right. So, children, it's time to say goodbye, but I'll come up with the next part of this video, which will elaborately explain you as to how you have to write the letter step by step. Till then, keep sharing this video because exam time is really near and this can save somebody's marks being snatched by the teacher. All right. So do subscribe, hit the like button, and share it with your friends right away. I'll see you in the next part of the video. Thank you. Happy learning always.